To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Banks, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna. Joshua Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to VSPEED and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Start your engines! And for the first time this season, the Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors, is underway at Daytona.
Sorry for the wait. Didn't think I'd come up, just need a little faith. I've been patient, just waiting.
It's killing this line because McWhorter can't complete the pass, and he's sideways off the corner, and he held on to it. Oh, Otto gets turned into turn number 3. McWhorter, Klinger, all in the outside wall. Caution is out. We're going to get a late race restart. Joshua Banks coming out of turn number 4, win number 6 in Saturday Night Racing League. First of the season for the 35. He gets it done in Dover.
The new winner this season, the 09 of Chad Klinger, off of turn 4. He will be victorious tonight at Phoenix. But the 73 of Joseph McWhorter is going to be your season 2 champion. Here he comes off of turns 3 and 4. It sounds like he saved enough fuel. Seth Hatchell, with an excellent strategy, is going to win here tonight at Kentucky Speedway.
Banks takes him 3 wide down the backstretch for the lead. Look at this, 3 wide again. The top 3 still 3 wide for the lead. Banks on the inside, right in the middle, Kevin to the outside.
I can't believe what I'm watching right now.
Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind. This is my prime. Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind.
those belts tight. You're watching Saturday Night Racing League, only on VSPEED.
It's an unusual setting, an unusual car-track combination, a track that this series has never been to in real life. But here tonight, we're going to mix it up. It's Saturday Night Short Track Racing, live from Bakersfield, California. It's the Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Alongside me all season long, we have Connor Horn in the booth. Connor, this track, they're going to be sharing pits. That's how tight this place is. It's not designed for 43 cars, but that's exactly about what we're going to get here tonight in a half-mile oval.
A track like this at least brings an open opportunity for some drivers who struggle to make some fields. We only have 41 cars tonight, so everyone makes the field. But yes, those drivers who qualified near the back of the field are going to have to share some stalls with drivers at the front of the field. And it's a very tight pit entry, so even under yellow, we're going to have to look at pit entry to see if we have any incidents. And pit exit could be treacherous as well. Bakersfield, California, half mile. Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway opened. I'd say it replaced the track. It reopened in January of 2013. It's been one of the staples of the West Coast oval scene since then, with a lot of banking in the corners. It says 12 degrees. It feels like a lot more, a little bit more on the front, a little bit of a D-shaped oval. Almost has the same shape as Rockingham, but much smaller, lower speeds, and a lot more chaos.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's adjacent to the dirt track just outside that exit of turn 4, and you're getting a good shot here out in Bakersfield. A lot of desert out here, a whole lot of nothing in all directions, but this track definitely comes to life every week. And so for Saturday Night Racing League, let's take a quick look at our points. It's been, it's been the 24 all the way through. Billy Turner, 3 in a row. Michael Sturgill, 33 points behind him. J.R. Shepard, 38. So Bailey Turner pulling out continuous lead week after week.
A 33-point lead after 3 races in this format. You can tell he's doing something right. The only winner in this series so far. Followed by Sturgill in points, who is on pole tonight. We'll get to the starting lineup in a minute, but a lot of maybe surprising drivers at the top of the standings. J.R. Shepard, Max Cost. Great starts to their season. Christopher Hodges as well. Shanosky, Adam Kobat, also known as Adam Cabot, in the 8th position. And Caleb Wheatley, Donald Kite. He's kind of been lurking every now and then. He gets finishes. He's top 10, but then there's some drivers outside the top 10 you expect to be higher up. Jeff Wright, 16th position. Alec Martinez not here tonight. He has had some good runs. Kenny Kibbe's 18th. Reggie Ortega. Names you don't see there. Joseph McWhorter, Joshua Banks. Don't see them anywhere. They have work to do.
Yeah, they do. And my dyslexia kicking in there on Adam Cabot. I apologize for that. But race analysis coming up on your screen right quick here before we hit our grid. 180 laps here tonight. 35-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit, 4 tire sets available, and 3 green-white checkers with 80% fuel on that iRacing Fix setup. So with that, let's get you trackside now. Get that grid up on the screen. Starting on the pole, as you said, it's Michael Sturgill with a 18.272. That is 6 1/1000ths of a second faster than J.R. Shepard to his outside for row number 1. Row number 2 goes to Kenny Kibbe. Josh Adams for row number 2 is 3rd and 4th position. 5th spot goes Bailey Turner, Chad Klinger. 7th, Jeff Wright, Joshua Banks. And rounding out your top 10 here tonight is AJ Stravato. He's back. Ray Massey in 10th.
Just keep him away from the 0-9, will ya? He starts 9th. Case Licata starts in the 11th position. The Twix number 50, Rob Hamp, who was in a crash late last week, as a lot of drivers were, starts 12th. 13th position, the 31 to Mashinoski, who is pretty high up in the running order in points. Joseph Sullivan, who had a crash early on last week, starts 14th. Caleb Weakley, the number 13, starts in the 15th position. Ryan Carlisle, the Virginia Tech Ford Mustang, always a staple of the series, he starts 16th. 17th position, Keith Shoemaker on the 88, the Silverbreast Bass Pro Shops 88, alongside the Bud Machina Brandon Wallace, and just inside the top half of the field, Stephen Davis in the 60, and Brian Hennings in the 74.
21st is going to go to VSPEED's very own Logan Threlkel. Have the coverage there for the Challenger Series. To his outside, Bryce Shoemaker in 22nd. 23rd, Morgan Lilly, Joseph McWhorter. Still work to do in 24th. 25th, Angelo Huronis, Nick Wood, 26th. 27th, Donnie Knight, Nick Hapiak in 28th. And your top 30 is Rob Ditton and Eddie Trejo.
Mark McFadden starts 31st. James Lehman 32nd, who was very fast last week before a crash. Reggie Ortega starts 33rd. Julio Villalobos Jr. 34th. And right behind them, as we'll get 1 to green this next time by, Dakota Floyd starts 35th. Max Cost 36th, high up in points, but Cost has a lot of work to do, so we'll slow things down because we still have another pace lap. Christopher Hodges 37th position, another driver high in points, but a very poor starting position. The man who's gone back-to-back in the Challenger Series, Philip Brewer, wins the marathon at Phoenix. He'll try to go back-to-back on the same night. Still hasn't been done. He'll have 2 weeks in a row to try it. He starts 38th. Ben Lafter in his 64 starts 39th. Austin Belkey starts 40th, and then the 41st driver, who was slated to start tonight, would have been Mike Sturgill. I don't know if he is in the session. Yes, he is in the Kellogg's Camaro, but that's all 41 drivers starting tonight.
Yeah, Ben Lafter electing not to grid. Dakota Floyd also not out here on the racetrack, so we'll have to wait and see if those drivers are maybe electing to start from the pit. But here we go. Week number 4 for Saturday Night Racing League in the Cup Series. Michael Sturgill on the top spot. Green flag is out, and we're underway.
Double. Throwtails around. Make contact with another car. That was Apiak.
06 a Hapiak goes around the number 12 VSPEED. And a little blink there from the 06. We didn't even get to throw the ticker up on the screen. Lap 1, roughly, I would say they crossed the line to complete lap 1 just before that. Let's go back on the replay.
He's getting some replay. I fear might get a workout tonight as Throwcow, we saw it in action there, just kind of slid into a corner. Hapiak just got tagged there. Ortega might have gotten a piece, but it's worried cold tires might be an issue. I practically said earlier, cold tires are treacherous here, and ooh, that is not cold tires. That is help from, I believe that is Morgan Lilly in the 41. Just tapped him too much. You got 39 cars on one track at a half mile. The stack-ups are going to be huge. Everyone's going to be really going very softly into the corners. I think Lilly wasn't ready for it. And the boots throw out of the way. Ooh, 54. Got a big piece of that, actually. That was Bryce Shoemaker who might have damage to repair. But yes, we didn't make it a lap.
Morgan Lilly gets into the back of the 12 of Logan Threlkel, brings out our first caution tonight. And I know these previous weeks we haven't really been dialing up a lot of drivers, so we have an opportunity here. Let's go call an audible here and pull Michael Sturgill if we can find him.
Let's see if we have the time to. Here he is.
Michael Sturgill, it's Bradley Cooper, Connor Horn in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Right now on the RSR Driver Cam, we see calm, cool, and collected right now, but we haven't even got this thing really underway as we get set to double back up. What's it take to get around this place?
You really slow is fast here. You gotta be easy on corner entry, and I mean throughout the entire corner and on exit. Just be smooth, don't overdrive it, and just be easy on the exit so it doesn't get loose and spin out on you.
Well, we get set back here to go green. Good luck out there. Michael Sturgill starting from the top spot. Second time today. All right, here we go. I know that was a quick dial-up, but I'm going to keep you on your toes, just like these guys are going to be on their toes all night long for another restart.
I'll earn my paycheck.
Yeah, put you to work here. Green flag's out. Back underway at Kern. 41 cars thundering around this racetrack. We have completed 5 of these laps under caution. And already Sturgill in clean air, doesn't have anyone to his outside. It looks like the bottom is where you want to be here.
And we'll make it a lap, but how long will that last? I still think passing on the bottom is going to be tough. That middle line will be used a lot for defense, more so than offense, just like a lot of short tracks, I would say. But I think if you're on your own, you do want to wrap that white line as much as possible, but it's going to be tight quarters throughout this field the first few laps. We still have some 2 and 3 wide. 4 wide at a half mile. That can't work. Back out of that, please. And he did.
That was McWhorter and Hennings on the inside and outside. The 41 of Lilly, the 99. Brandon Wallace, this is back in the 20th position. It is chaos back here. Oh, and Wallace goes around. Saves it.
And there's no grip up there. He's going to slide again. Got tagged there by Rob Denton, and we got another caution. You get out of the groove here. There's no grip outside the bottom 2 lanes, I should say. And he got up there and just had nothing. He had no grip.
I think he had help up there into the entry of 3, but couldn't recover it back onto the throttle. It was chaos back there for 20th, I tell you what.
I almost thought they were going to sort it out. You can see how quickly the pace car comes out. He was almost getting lapped there. Just lost it after spinning the tires up, and I don't know who got the worst part of that, the 99 or the 93 of Denton. They both took pretty good hits. Morgan Lilly to be inside of the 99 as I thought Hennings was going to knock the wall down. He came close. He might have gotten a little tap from McWhorter. Couldn't quite tell if there was neck code there or not, but it was close cords between those two. And then once you get the rear tires kind of slid out, not even just having no grip on the top side, once you slide the rears, you got to wait 2 laps before you push them again.
We're going to look here from the blimp camera. Yeah, a little bit of help. I think the 99 comes down. That's kind of meeting in the middle there. And he never really had it. He never really had it saved after that.
Completely different track, but the other track in California, Auto Club, we kind of saw a lot of that on the corner exit. Kind of similar to what we saw a lot of drivers do. It caused a lot of big crashes last week, but it's much more difficult to catch this week because you really don't have room to.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for error here, and really this track intended for, super late models, open wheel, modifieds. I would venture to say this car is a little bit out of its element here. But at the same time, these guys like a challenge, and we've seen some out-of-the-ordinary racetracks in the season. Last season, I think it was, help me out here, there was another short track we went to that I don't even think I owned the track before we went to it.
Wouldn't be Nashville.
No, it wasn't Nashville. It was just before that, and I know that they reestablished that we're never going there again. I can't quite remember what it was. It might have been Nashville.
I don't think we went to any other. You definitely have Bristol. You definitely have Richmond.
Yeah.
Would probably have to be the fairgrounds. Alex Bell won that race. There were 20 cautions.
Yeah. So that must have been it.
Sounds right to me. I was there.
Long there. It was.
Hopefully Kern County doesn't have the same fate, because this is a very fun track once you get laps in. The only issue, you got to get laps in.
Well, let's see if they can do it here. Green flag back underway. Sturgill launches out of the rocket ship, out of the cannon. Back underway here in Bakersfield. It looks like the 14 of Kenny Kibbe is going to contest them. 3 in the wall.
Look out, everyone else. Ski piling up. Caleb Weekly, Morgan Lilly. Brian Hennings might have gotten a piece. Whee. Josh Adams got a piece of it too. And the pole sitter's torn up.
Well, we got to go back on the instant replay. It looked like maybe just snapped free on him.
It looked like he just didn't get through the center of 1 and 2 well. Then he tried chasing it up the track and he hit the side of Kenny Kibbe and then he overcorrected it.
That's the real problem with this racetrack, is once that happens, especially up at the front of the field, there's just nowhere to go for everyone behind. You see Caleb Weekly gets bumped and the 41 of Lilly has damage. We'll back this up one more time. There's the restart on board with Weekly.
I think that just a lot of people got stacked up in that. Weekly hit the brakes. Man, he got pounded by whoever was behind him. Probably got a decent amount of rear end damage out of that. Well, looking at it live, it looks clean. But see who that was. I did see another car sideways. I don't even know if it was related, but someone else got sideways. That is Keith Shoemaker got sideways, but bam! Wow, Morgan Lilly really piled it into the 13.
Yeah, and in Lilly's defense, we'll go on board with him as well. The one car of Joseph Sullivan jumps down just at the last second. This is kind of like merging on the highway. You think you're good, and then suddenly that semi moves over, and you're just along for the ride.
Yeah. And tell you what, when you could look at that back, he got hit almost just as hard. I think it was by Brian Henning. So there's just nothing either driver could do there, because if you don't have drivers calling it out, or maybe a live spotter calling it out, like someone like McWhorter or Ray Massey would have, not everyone has live spotters. They're not going to call that out just as easily. Wow, Keith Shoemaker really had a moment there, but you can see right there, Henning's just kind of piled in. He had nowhere to go either.
So Kenny Kibbe will be the command car for this restart on lap 18. 10% of the way through here, Connor.
Getting there. And a new leader in Kibbe, and he's also going to elect the inside. Kibbe got the lead from the outside, though, so kind of surprised he's letting Shepard maybe get that advantage.
Let's wait and see if the inside is going to be where you want to be. I think right now, early in this run, these guys still haven't quite worn these tires in. Inside is going to be where it's at. Green flag back underway. Kern County, race number 4, Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. And this is maybe one of those drivers that we're going to see break out, break the ice. We don't see too many names come up here and contest. Sturgill and Wright, Turner, of course, coming up here through the 3rd spot. Kenny Kibbe, this might be the first time we've had him in the lead this season.
He's not really qualified well all season long. He finally put a good lap down, and it put him P3, able to get the lead early on. Caleb Weekly sliding into the sidewall. Stay green for now, but I think he had some help. Now he's got damage. Still green, but he has damage to deal with now.
He had help from 2 cars. Sullivan and McWhorter.
I don't know if McWhorter did anything there. It just looked like Sullivan gave him the boot. Caution is out live, though.
Hennings is around.
We'll get another replay. Just Brian Hennings involved. Yeah, he just got the boot from Caleb. He got the boot from Sullivan to Weekly, and Weekly hit it pretty good. That did not bring out the caution, but Brian Hennings getting spun off of turn number 4 has.
Well, said it was going to get a workout. It's about the 6th rep here today. Hennings on the inside.
Up the track.
I got loose.
Lost it. Ooh, hit those barriers pretty hard. Looks like he's going to be another retirement from this race. We've already lost James Lehman and Michael Sturgill, so that's already 3 drivers done.
It's been eventful so far here from Kern County, but we are going to step away for just a moment. Here on VSPEED, you are watching the Saturday Night Racing League live. We will be right back right after this.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
Back here live from Kern County Speedway, and it looks like Kenny Kibbe took the green flag right around lap 25. They've completed 2 laps under green. It's been a little bit chaotic here for the first 28, but it's starting to have some attrition. So these guys taking an early exit here today. Ryan Hennings, Michael Sturgill, and James Lehman all out of the race tonight.
And we're still going to battle at the front like it hasn't happened. Bailey Turner wants that 4th win in a row. Stravato just punted. And guess who? You'll never believe who hit him.
I'm going to take an educated guess and say it was an 09.
There might be a 0 in the number. About to mention Turner and Shepard going for that 2nd position. Stravato cleared. This is a lap of 4. You see Stravato being one of the drivers trying to work that 2nd lane, make some passes, primarily trying to get by the 48 of Jeff Wright. Klinger gets a run. Stravato mostly clear. Klinger looks for the bottom.
I don't think Klinger had anywhere else to go. I want to defend the 09 a little bit here.
I'd like to see what his view is here, because he's got like 33s on his outside. No matter whose fault it is, it's just, of course, these two come together.
Yeah, right?
Yes. The door's open there. And really, Stravato will think it's too early to poke the nose. Klinger will say, well, you gave me a bunch, you gave me the door. Stravato, you see out of turn 4, there's a gap there. He has the opportunity to shut it fully, like you would at Martinsville, just shut the door before corner entry. Doesn't quite do that. Kind of comes down on the 09. That's definitely a tough one so early in the race. But obviously, just like Texas, we'll have some disagreements, and the 33 is the one repairing damage this time.
That's the unfortunate thing about this racetrack as well. You're sharing pit stalls. It's difficult to get on and off of pit road, and you just saw the 88, I believe, getting trapped a lap down, Keith Shoemaker, because he wasn't able to get in and out of pit fast enough.
Yep. I mean, that's why it's so important to catch up to the field. They weren't exactly fully caught up to the field when pit lane opens in a hurry.
Yeah.
And he was just getting damage repaired as well. I didn't see the tires go up, but yeah, it's very easy to get lapped at a track this small, especially if you're running what is usually run here, like late models and modifieds, where the tires take forever to get changed. You can't even take 4 tires, let alone barely 2 in those. It's really no different at a track this small.
We are double back up here on lap 33 out of 180. We'll take that green flag at lap 34. 5 cautions, 1 lead change. It's been Kenny Kibbe since about lap 13. Green flag is out. We're back underway.
Turner, good run on the bottom, looking for a Saturday night record 4th win in a row. He's looking pretty good tonight, riding the bottom. He'll get by, not quite yet by J.R. Shepard, but he is just about clear.
There he will clear him. Shepard gets a little bit too loose, back to the throttle, and now Turner can focus on Kibbe at the top spot. Jeff Wright working up some positions as well as Joshua Banks. They've been side by side for a couple laps now. And for the lead, the 24, 3 weeks in a row, Will it be number 4? It's a little early to tell. We're about a third of the way through, a quarter of the way through this race.
We all know track position is going to be the most important. When you get a kind of an attrition type race like this, track position goes above everything else. It goes above tires even, unless you get that long of a run. So getting the lead here while we're getting green flag running in would be key, but it was kind of open that gap back up a little bit.
35 of Banks works his way into 4th position. No more side-by-side for those top 5 spots. It's actually the 71 of Carlisle that I was looking for. They're side-by-side. Joseph McWhorter to the outside up 15. Carlisle up 8. So quite a few big movers. Biggest mover in this race so far, though, is Reggie Ortega. And then number 2, it looks like Caleb Weekly around.
Oh, we got a number of drivers piled up. Philip Brewer, the Challenger winner. Keith Shoemaker, Belky's there. Christopher Hodges with some damage as well. And needed no time to get back going because Philip Brewer couldn't get back going, and he's going down at least a lap. Kind of like Martinsville, you just can't, you don't get going, you're getting lapped. I was so close to noting how we were getting single file. Josh Adams kind of pokes the nose there. There was room. Weekly spun out on the apron. I don't think he got hit. And then these guys just can't quite stop in time. A number of drivers got maybe minor damage out of that.
It's on board with Christopher Hodges.
What happens up there? Maybe thought Brewer was going to save it. He tried to save it, just couldn't quite do it. And then a slight tap there, or maybe he gets tapped too. But shouldn't be too much damage. Matt Shinosky, the 31, gets the lucky dog. We'll slow things down once again. With how short the laps are, I wouldn't be surprised if these drivers, at this rate, they might never pit if they can make it on fuel by just saving under yellow. That could also be a possibility. Belky barely beat the pace car out, even if he did. But that could also end up being an option. We're 40 laps in. Most of the leaders haven't pit. And there has not been a lead change since the 1 yellow of Michael Sturgill spinning around.
We saw it at Martinsville in the Challenger Series last season. It was Bryce Shoemaker. He never hit pit road. He stayed out the entirety of the 130 laps of that race. And, I mean, there's no reason to bring it down pit road. If you're good on fuel, you haven't really... I think right now they're sitting on a heat cycle at this point. They have raced enough. But do you really want to put yourself in the back of this field? Do you want to be the first guy that blinks and everyone else stays out? You end up, 39th position in this field.
You got to time it perfectly, that's for sure. If you can't make it on fuel doing this, you really want to make sure you do what everyone else does, because getting on your own and getting put back in the back half of the field has clearly been trouble so far tonight. Not that you're safe at the front, as we saw at the 3, but you don't, like you said, you don't want to be alone pitting any track like this.
Well, here we go on lap 43. Green flag is out. Bailey Turner to the outside of Kibbe. And Joshua Banks, your season 3 champion, all over the back bumper of the 24.
Turner got a big run off of turn number 2. Going to get to the bumper of Kibbe. He's going to look to be outside. Dirty air, even at a track this small, still a factor. So just trying to search for grip any way he possibly can. He keeps getting runs out of the corner, just not enough center speed up there right now as he ducks back to the bottom. Banks tries to get 3rd from Shepard.
Down the back stretch to the inside into 3 and 4. 24 trying to hold it down there. Kibbe gets a little bit loose. They'll be neck and neck across the line. This time, Kibbe holds on. For how much longer? The 24 has a really good drive off on these exits.
Banks got the 3rd. He'll watch this battle unfold. Kibbe just a little bit better on exits, and he's going to chop the nose of Bailey Turner just to get to the bottom line. You can see he did not want to be up in that 2nd groove for much longer than he wanted to, and Banks got a big run because of the chop the 14 put on the 24. Now he's looking for 2nd.
They'll carry on board with the 35. Banks continues to run side by side. I think Turner maybe... I don't know if I'd back out of this or not. This is a tight run.
You might want to try following Banks through. He's clearly trying to push a little bit harder at this point in the run on his tires. So if he can poke his nose into a hole to maybe get by the 14, maybe try to follow him through and just get that spot from the 14.
Side-by-side back here with Chad Klinger and Jeff Wright. 35 of Banks did look to the outside, overshot the entry of one just a little bit there. He'll tuck back in. This is side-by-side for the 7th position as Jeff Wright dives to the inside. Not clear just yet. Look at that, Connor. We've got a green flag run going.
I won't speak too soon. Banks poked his nose at the very last second at turn number 1. Got inside of Kibbe for the lead, but Kibbe once again going to turn it down immediately after getting clear and keep that position. But you can tell Banks is pushing a little bit harder on exits.
What you need, though, I mean, you can see the brake glow compared to the 14 had no brake glow, and that's just enough here on the exit of the backstretch. Turner's going to follow him. Not clear just yet.
And I like pushing hard here because the way the yellows are falling, I don't see a need to save the tires right now. So I want track position. I'm going to try to get it now. Banks did just that. We got a lead change, our second lead change of the night, basically. And now Kibbe's in a bad spot because if he doesn't get a hole up or clear the 90, oh, someone's in the inside wall hard. It was Ray Massey. We're still green, but he pounded the inside concrete.
He has some help here, or just get loose on his own?
That was so far down the straightaway. Yeah, Ortega came off the wall and got a pretty hard hit. We'll see if he's able to continue. Meanwhile, Turner and Banks have separated themselves while J.R. Shepard got by Kibbe, and this is what I feared. If he doesn't get up at any point, he's going to lose time. And he lost 3 spots because of it.
On board with Joseph McWhorter, your Season 2 champion in the Cup Series, trying to get around the 14 of Kibbe. And we talked about it a little bit there in the pre-race. This car, it's not been kind to the guys that, maybe had success in the B car or the Gen 4. Jeff Wright will straight up admit to you that this is not a car he's confident with. And you can see it kind of build here by week 4. They're starting to get a little bit better with it. But even then, your previous champions not having the success that they did in seasons 1, 2, and 3.
I think McWhorter has still had decent runs when he is running. The problem is he hasn't been able to finish a race. Another driver got sideways back there. It was Trejo, but he kept it straight. But McWhorter hasn't really finished a race. Wrecked out with Joshua Banks last week. He got wrecked out at Texas. He did not make it to the finish at Daytona. I don't even think he has finished any of those races on track. So he just, forget going for a win, going for a top 5. Just finish the race. Get some points on the board. He's 37th in points. He has a long way to go, but it's still early in the season.
McWhorter not able to clear there. Jeff Wright trotting the outside of Chad Klinger into 3. There's the 71 of Ryan Carwile just behind him. They're trying to find a way around the Sherwin-Williams 09.
Not really willing to use the bumper because with how squirrely everyone's looked, if you use the bumper, you're probably going to spin them even if you don't mean to. So got to be careful. Saw someone sliding in turn 2. That was Rob Hamp, and the caution's out. Single car spin.
I think that was the longest run we've had tonight.
Certainly felt like it. Likely probably about 15 laps or so, and it's ended by a single car spin. First decision as far as pitting for any of the front runners.
Just locked it up.
Yep, just locked it up, spun out. Leaders are pitting live. Pretty much everybody's coming down for fuel at least, and maybe just possibly tires, as everyone's going to stay out. Besides one driver that may or may not be lead lap. Nick Happyack, who is lead lap, will cycle to the lead.
I was interested to see how this pit stall sharing was going to go. Very difficult. There's no lines painted, as you can see. Jeff Wright is going to win the race off of pit road. 2 tires.
Yes, if you want track position, that's how you're going to get it. It's going to be tough to make passes, just how sideways everyone's looked. I worry about how that thing's going to handle, but we'll see what he can do. We got 2 drivers, I say 3 drivers lead lap staying out, because even Rob Hamp stayed out. Well, look out for these guys, though. Look at all these guys that are going to get lapped, possibly. Belky's there. Mike Sturgill's there. If you don't get caught up, this is going to happen. And you got more drivers going to get put a lap down because of it. Christopher Hodges, who is pretty high up in points, 6th in points, is going to get lapped.
and see if they wave these guys around. I know it's very difficult to get in and out of pit road, but that's the main focus here, is getting caught up to the pace car, and that should be everyone's focus as soon as that yellow flies. It's going to cost these guys a lap. See the 51 falling back there. It looks like, or if that's Mike Sturgill, not quite convinced that he's a lap down just yet.
As we'll get the one to go next time by. We were going to go there, but I think someone stopped on track back there. I think it was the 51. Those guys get lapped. We'll get another restart, and really the first bit of strategy of the night. You get Happyack, Hamp, and Shoemaker staying out. Hamp just spun to bring out the yellow, stayed out. And the only other bit of strategy was Jeff Wright taking 2 tires, who will restart 4th. So this should be very interesting.
The 2 tires, probably not a bad call if you can handle it. Track position, that's the main portion of that decision. I can't say that I blame Jeff. He had been side by side with the 09 for quite a few laps, and trying to get away from battling and actually running. I think he's in a good spot here with these guys in front of him staying out. Jeff Wright can take the lead.
I think if he doesn't get the lead, he's going to fade. He cannot let Banks or Turner by him. It's a race between Banks and Turner to see who can get up to the front first.
Here we go, back underway. Lap 64 at Kern County. Happyack, you gotta take the lead, command it, but he's loose. 3 wide. No.
Oh, Jeff, he thought better of it. He knew there was not going to be room for that with Hamp up there. He slid up the track almost into the 4 of Hamp. Happyack being very patient on corner exit, letting Rob Hamp stick to the outside for the race lead. A little bit of spin action and go for the lead. I guess it's working, but big run. Oh, crash. Kenny Kibbe hard into the wall. The 98 of J.R. Shepard is almost upside down, and it's another pile up down the backstretch. McWhorter's in that. The 29 with damage. Case Lakatis, Joseph Sullivan. I think this another driver back there, the 60 of Stephen Davis. That one took a lot of cars out. Look out.
Davis is still trying to get it going. He's going to go a lap down.
This one will take a lot. No drivers out. And that was Kenny Kibbe just losing it. And the track just blocks. Happens that quickly. Same thing Michael Sturgill did earlier. Just too much throttle sideways, and when they wreck out of the corner, there's nowhere to go. J.R. Shepard up on his side. Logan Threlkeld got a big piece of that as well. And Donnie Kite getting some damage. A lot of drivers are going to be out, probably because of that one.
On board with Threlkeld.
See the bottom of a car. It's never what you want to see, and he just had nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. And the one issue about this track is you want to repair that damage with what time? You don't have time to sit in the box and repair that damage. It's going to take you basically the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think we figured it up. It's somewhere around 15 seconds, especially if you're at the back of the field. You have even less than that to get down to your stall and actually get any damage repaired. By the time you hit that stall, the pace car's coming out of 4.
Man, a normal pace lap, the drivers who don't pit and pace around a track, they do it in 42 seconds. So that's a very fast amount of time. And you don't have time to get you barely have time to get 2 tires in or 4 tires in. So those drivers with a lot of damage, like Kibbe, like I think the 13, like Threlkeld in the 12, they're going to be battling wounded cars pretty much the rest of the night.
Here's the numbers down the lane. When you come down pit road, it's 33 seconds. And the lap time under pacing is 42.
It's only 35 miles an hour, too. Even slower.
Well, here we go. Jeff Wright snagged away the lead. Bryce Shoemaker, of those cars that stayed out earlier, he'll stay out again. He'll be on the inside Joshua Banks taking the high line. Bailey Turner, the top 3. Banks just getting clear. A little bit of out of shape back here. 3 wide.
That's an impatient Joe McWhorter trying to get back through the field. He actually didn't get too hurt out of that compared to a lot of others, as they are squarely in behind there. Squarely at the front, too, because they're trying to get around Bryce Shoemaker, but nowhere to go here. Whoa, Banks had a big wiggle.
Adams going to the inside, looking to the outside, wherever he can get around this 54. Reggie Ortega up on the high line. He'll get up to the top 5 now. There's still like 3 or 4 wide back here.
Tires got Jeff Wright the clean air. Oh, man. Big
around.
hit there. Look out. Shinosky and Hamp in it.
I think tempers are starting to flare here a little bit.
Can't confirm, but 33 wasn't a part of that one. Oh, man, that was like synchronized spinning. There was 3 separates. Hapiak, Klinger, and Rob Hamp. They all had spins. And Shinosky kind of just locked up the rears. So right here, can't tell. I think Klinger's, I think Hapiak hitting the right front spun him out, but Hamp spun on his own for sure. Very side, if you don't enter the corner right here, it's easy to lose the rear and get sideways. If you arc it in a little too hard, you're not going to save it here. You're just going to overcorrect into a wall or spin it out. It's very hard to save this car here. It's hard to save this car anywhere.
We just saw the 09 come down pit road. Jeff Wright's entering turn 3. We go back to the 09. He's just now down and away.
You know what? He didn't even hit his box.
No.
He couldn't even get into his box. Absolutely no time.
Well, I can tell you we might add another track to the list here, Connor.
It's a shame because I think it actually races pretty well. Just these cars just aren't quite working here right now as we're 15 laps away from halfway.
Laps. Let's see if we can get that solid green flag run in. I know we talked about Phoenix there a little bit in the Challenger Series. It had some runs, a green flag, of course, if you tuned in to that and you saw the Challenger Series kind of trending towards a little bit less cautions. It seems like this next-gen car just a little bit more difficult to drive. It don't take anything away from the talent of these guys. We saw a lot of caution-free racing last season, but here with this next gen, it's kind of been a learning curve for a few of these guys. We're still ironing out the wrinkles. Definitely could see a quality show at Old Atlanta in just a week's time.
It's also just part of the short track racing. Even like we said, we're talking about Nashville Fairgrounds 20 cautions last season. That was in Xfinity cars, which are much more stable at these types of tracks. It's just kind of happens. It's pretty hard to get spread out at tracks like these. Maybe single file restarts one of these times.
Well, here we go, back underway from Kern County, lap 76, 77 now.
Wide in the back, someone forced it to the bottom. Jeff Wright still struggling on 2 tires. Turner and Banks. Oh, nope, they're straight at the back for now, but these two are just trying to see who can get the 48 first.
There's a lot of scattering going on back here. I think guys getting loose off the corners. 26 of Donnie Kite.
Oh, Nick Woods into the wall. He keeps it straight for now somehow. That's going to scatter them even more.
I think he broke the toe link on this car.
Yeah, definitely looks like something's broke on the right front.
Look how it's single filed out in the top 10 there, all the way back to Donnie Kite.
They're along at last right now. Kite trying to get by Mark McFadden, who's pretty far up in the order. Angel Horonis, J.R. Shepard, Chad Klinger, Max Cost all in behind. Oh man, a pretty big hit there.
Bringing down the track, I think McFadden maybe came up a little bit there and he had to get on the brakes.
And he still got to his outside, able to take that position away. As even when they are single file, it's pretty frantic action. Banks still Can't quite get by the 48 of Jeff Wright, pushing hard to try to get to the outside, but runs himself out of room there at a turn number 4.
He is wheeling this thing.
He's trying. Just so hard to set up a pass at a track this small with these types of cars. It takes everything out of your tires, everything out of all of your inputs to get a pass done here, even with the guy on uneven tires than you.
So I saw the status of this channel when I joined in, and I think it said 4 gears better than, greater than 5. I think that's what it said. Now it says Kern equals Nashville. I don't know.
Hey man, I played the thing.
All right. We are setting up here, though. These guys have single filed out. It's looking a lot cleaner. And based off of this run right now, Banks cannot get around the 48. Bailey Turner, Jeff Wright on 2 tires here. Turner got the wall there out of 3, or out of 2 rather. Banks still has something for the 48 though.
Yeah, Jeff Wright's on 2, Turner definitely on 4 though, although he's been the 2-tire guy pretty much all season long. In his 3 wins, he used them at Texas to get the victory, and also at Auto Club to get the victory. And we're closing in on halfway, Bradley. We might need to try to get loud as quickly as we possibly can as the lead gets tight there. He almost booted the 48.
Well,
never mind, caution's out. So close. Here. He will get lapped. Look out. He is in a dangerous spot. Oh, man. Caution's out. Let's slow down a little bit. But that's because you don't get time to pit. Everyone's trying to rush back to the car behind them.
Yep.
He's just going to reset. No, he's still not going.
Equipment failure possibly here?
I need a better view. Oh, 99 gets loose. Oh, and then just comes up and hit him. I think he just ended up resetting because he just never could get back going. But 99 got sideways. They ended up getting like 4 wide there. Just ran themselves out of room. Oh, he didn't even get loose. He just straight lined into Shinovsky. And then Belke just couldn't get around him. And then he had literally, Belke just could not get back going to the point where he had to reset to his stall and lost himself a lot of laps in this race. As Jeff Wright, actually surprisingly there, as we hit halfway, came down the pit to get 4 tires. Not too many others did. It's like
at the
right
halfway
pit.
mark, roughly.
It's like right pit. Then Shinovsky, Klinger, Weekly, Carwile. Looks like Villalobos, Hodges. They might get lapped again, goodness. I think they barely made it out. Throatkill didn't, but he's laps down anyways. But that opens the clean air up to Joshua Banks to get the lead back. We saw AJ Stravato get in Chad Klinger get into it again, but Stravato's found his way into P3.
Well, we're going to double back up, I think, for this restart, and I think this is the moment if we ever have one. Had a couple short stints of about 15 to 20 laps of green flag racing. Hopefully we can get some of that in here as we double back up on lap 91.
And Banks, probably the first driver to not take the bottom. He'll take the outside line, put Bailey Turner and AJ Stravato on the bottom. Reggie Ortega's in the 4th. Josh Adams, who DNQ'd last week, is in the 5th. How many opportunities do you think we're going to get loud tonight?
I think this is the only one.
Let's do it. Let's try it.
All right, for this restart, let's get loud, presented by FireStorm Racing. was Get Loud, presented by FireStorm Racing. Joshua Banks, your leader here on lap 96. Bailey Turner, AJ Stravato, Reggie Ortega, and Josh Adams, the top 5. And a very angry and hungry Joseph McWhorter has clawed his way back up to 6. Morgan Lilly up 7. Up to 7th. Oh, 4 of Hamp.
Oh, here comes the 54 and the 98 piling in. Oh, man. That looked like the 54. I don't know. Don't know if he got ARCA braked or why he got. Oh, I think he came up into someone, but J.R. Shepard just had nowhere to go because of that.
Yeah, 54 came up into the 29 of Angela Coronas, I believe.
.41, yeah, 4 came up. Probably anticipated the 41 to go to the wall, and then 54 kind of the same thing. J.R. Shepard, just nothing he could do. Klinger also hit the wall there. Couldn't tell what that was from. And Shepard was just kind of in a bad spot because he got the spin ahead, then he's trying to go 3-wide move. And then the 54 gets hit down. There's nothing he could do. It's a shame because he was running top 5 for the early portion of this race.
It's been a rough one here from Kern County. We are past the halfway mark here on VSPEED. Only a race left to be done for Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors. More coverage will continue on VSPEED right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
Back here live at Kern County Speedway, we've got a lot of drivers trying to claw their way back into the top 10. As we ride around here with Joseph McWhorter, he's to the inside of one of the leaders of the previous moment, the 14 of Kibbe, and the 06 of Happyak into the wall.
Off track, not a caution, but that might be his day done. That was a big hit. He'll get back going. Looks like a self-spin. The turn 2's caught a lot of people, 2 and 4. Yep, all on his own concrete barrier.
We'll lose some laps. Logan Threlkel with a black flag here for some reason. Not entirely sure what it's for. As we run out lap 106. Just over 70 laps to go. Joshua Banks has a commanding lead. Bailey Turner, is he saving tires? This is the chance to go 4 in a row here tonight.
He's very optimistic if he's saving tires. I'll give him that. A very optimistic driver. But Banks drives to the limit. Oh, speaking of limit, I think Ortega and Lilly just had contact, but Joshua Banks drives to the limit. His limit is way further than everyone else's limit because his limit can be the outside wall for all he cares. He drives the wheels off his car whenever he feels the need to. This is something he's done at short tracks already. He's gotten some short track victories because of it. And this is kind of a part of the reason why he drives hard, because you're anticipating that yellow. If that yellow never comes, it will become an issue, but they've been falling right for him so far to the point where if Bailey Turner is trying to save some tire, it's not making a whole lot of a difference.
And from Turner's point of view, I mean, this is still a top 3. These guys have been outside looking in every single race. Turner has found a way. Even last week, where we thought Jeff Wright had it locked up, that late caution comes out with Martinez and Bafford, sets up a green-white checkered. 24 takes 2 tires, and lo and behold, he finds his way to victory lane again. We could definitely see that happen here.
Can't count him out of it when he's running in the runner-up position. Just haven't seen him challenge Banks quite yet. Banks has been faster most laps. He's opening up that gap, and Banks is doing it running a little higher on the racetrack than the 24. 24 maybe a groove to a half a groove lower, while Banks is kind of keeping that entry higher and staying up there, making it work so far.
And Chad Klinger on the outside. This is for the 20th, 19th position. Chinoski holding on to it right now. Klinger gets by. Side by side, back and forth. Can't quite get clear, and Klinger used a little bit of that wall there on the exit. This is the closest battle on the racetrack, really. Everybody else is pretty much single filed out. We've got a little bit here with Morgan Lilly, Angelo Heronis. Quiet night for him, but he's worked his way into the top 10 now.
And for at least the time being, Lilly has been involved in a few incidents, but you wouldn't know it looking at the 41. Clean for the time being, while Heronis has almost every corner damaged on that 29, but still fast enough to stay in the top 10 positions. And he got damage cards in the top 5 anyways. Travato right front damage. He got McWhorter's nose is punched in the 5th position. Ortega's got damage. This is definitely a battle of attrition, if you didn't know already.
Well, we say that, but we've only lost about 6 or 7 cars here tonight. A lot of these guys trying to salvage the day. You got Nick Hapiak back out there. A lot of these guys got trapped a lap down just by trying to get that damage fixed, and that's what's going to probably dissolve this field, is that a lot of these guys are going to get so many laps down, and it's going to be pointless for them to try to come back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, a number of drivers just trying to salvage stuff. Michael Sturgill rejoined the field 45 laps down. Brokel has been the most recent driver to fall out of the race, as well as Rob Hamp. Ray Massey's 16 down right now in 32nd. Belkey's 14 down in 31st. Like you said, Hapiak's 4 down after the incident that did not bring out a yellow. But when we do get green flag running, you notice how there's just a few drivers that are just pulling away from the rest of the field. And mainly, the top 7 or so are very, very far away from everyone 8th on back from Lakatos. It's a big difference, and you can see it at the front. Also see those front rotors starting to glow tonight as Morgan and Lilly going side by side with Max Cost.
Yeah, that's been happening a lot here. Didn't work out on that Brimbro brake kit.
Oh.
Pretty wide here in front of the 63.
Christopher Hodges, Michael Sturgill just trying to get through there. Heronis got slowed up by that. Well, Jeff Wright, he did get fresher tires a number of cautions ago. He's worked his way up to the 3rd position, just got by AJ Stravato for that position, and he was 10ths faster than Joshua Banks last time by.
Can he get there, though? He's going to have some stout competition getting by Bailey Turner, who is actually starting to push it a little bit more this lap. 24 shaved off. About a 10th. This time by gave up about that.
With a track this small, with the speeds so different right now, there is a lot of traffic ahead. Not saying they'll catch it, because we'll see what happens, but not too far away from seeing Shoemaker, Hapiak, Wallace, Sullivan, even Ryan Carwile, a very fast driver, but with a lot of damage back there, getting ready to get lapped. And also on new tires, I believe McWhorter took some tires. He's climbing up through this field.
Carlisle is up there in the top 10 to start this race. Earlier, was competing for the 10th position. I think got some damage during one of those cautions. You can see still hasn't quite got that car fixed up. The damage on that right-hand side, and it's probably hindering his turning ability.
Yeah, definitely going to be hurting the way he could turn that car, maybe down horsepower with all that front-end damage. You just don't know. Just trying to struggle to salvage something out of this day, but I don't know how hard these guys will really want to fight the race leaders as they're going to come up on Mike Sturgill once again in a little bit here. But Banks has pretty much caught the back of the pack. This is pretty much everyone left in this field that they're catching up to as Jeff Wright's going for the second.
This is the opportunity here through the lap traffic. Jeff Wright needs to get clear of the 24 before they meet up with these cars, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Banks brushes the wall there on the exit of 2. Wright has to check up a little more than he probably wants to with these fresher tires. His brakes were glowing. He might have some fade here into 1.
Still got other traffic going to get in the way of Banks, but he had to get back in line just so he didn't run into the back of the 53 of Mike Sturgill. That's let McWhorter pretty much get all the way up to the rear bumper of Jeff Wright. You can see Jeff Wright pretty much entering in the tire tracks of Turner, but a lot more grip to carry it to the bottom of the racetrack and try to get to the inside of Bailey Turner. Just can't quite do it as they got a single file around Brandon Wallace. He might look 3, peeked the nose there, but didn't quite pull the trigger on that move as Banks is getting held up by Joseph Sullivan up ahead. Here goes Wright.
Continuing to navigate this traffic, Jeff Wright has found an opportunity for that second spot. Bailey Turner is going to get picked here.
And Sullivan got out of his way just at the right time, but it might be a little too late. It's going to be tough to defend on the outside with the fresher tires on the 48. I think Wright's going to try to drive this in hard, but Turner, really good run on entry, but so much more grip on exit for the 48.
Stay side by side. Jeff Wright is now caught up to the back bumper of Joshua Banks as well. And pass completed for the 48 car. Trying to pick up where he left off last week. I know that race was right there. 50 laps to go. Jeff Wright trying to take the lead from Banks.
And they got Ryan Carwell right in front of both of them. This will decide this battle right now, which lane Carwell picks. He's running a little higher. He's more in Jeff Wright's line than he is the 35s. So they're going to stay side by side. They're going to have 4 drivers under a blanket for the lead, but Banks, not a good run off the corner. Jeff Wright's got it.
Well, Jeff Wright oversended a little bit here. He's up in the weak spot of that line. I thought maybe going to get loose, but he held on to it.
Oh, he is driving hard on entry to the corner. You wonder if that right front's going to struggle to get through this run, even with the extra rubber. He's really driving hard into corners right now, but now I won't say he has clean air, but this is the cleanest air he'll see for a while until he gets up to Nick Hapiak and Austin Belke. But a little bit of a break in traffic after this group gets by.
Well, we had a complete crash here of iRacing. This is an entirely new thing for me. So we'll go back, take a quick break, try to get back into this session. You are watching Saturday Night Racing. Well, you were. We'll get back here on VSPEED right after this.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walk and Roll in Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walk and Roll in Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Well, we are crashing. Everyone else is. So VSPEED had its incident here tonight, but we're back underway at Kern County. Lap 145. Jeff Wright has taken over the point. He's pulled away from Bailey Turner. Looks like the 35 of Joshua Banks has fallen back to 5th here. And we had a little moment there with the 33 of AJ Stravada just as we got back into the session. Quick little spin there for the 33.
Yeah, he had an incident. We'll have a replay of it. The Banks had been fading and used the tires up too much, which was what I was worried about. Loose off of 2, hits the wall. 2 can't check up, 33 can't check up. I thought this was going to be a yellow. Somehow that wasn't, apparently. The iRacing did not trigger it, so I'm sure the 33 will be happy about that, but that relegates him from inside the top 5 to 10th position.
As Angelo Corona is closing in quickly, a little bit of damage on the front of that 33. So he might stand to lose another position. We went green flag racing now for about 25, 30 laps. It's been a long run.
I tell you what, I was noting earlier how Jeff was really pushing his tires on corner entry. That gap was about 1.7 seconds. It's been coming down the last few laps. Could just be traffic. There is a lot of it coming to 30 to go. But Jeff Wright, it's down to about 1.2 seconds as Turner's having to work around the 45 of Villalobos. McWhorter is still there as well, but he hasn't been able to use his tires like the 48 did.
McWhorter has worked his way up. I want to say he was outside the top 10 to start this race. I don't have the oh no!
Oh, Turner in the wall. He spins. This is also not going to be, no, it is a caution. 54 stops. That one's a caution. Oh boy, Bailey not going to be probably pleased with that. That'll change things. This should bring everyone to pit road for 4 tires. I think Turner tried taking more room than he was given by the 54. This probably isn't the yellow either if the 54 doesn't pit, if the 54 doesn't stop on the track. I heard Turner complaining on the radio about lap cars racing him. I think he was complaining more about the 45, but the 54 is what ends up hurting him. Right there, just kind of came up on the track.
Well, it looks like a 2-tire call here for Banks. Reggie Ortega elects to take 2 tires as well. His final 30 laps, Reggie Ortega going to try to take his shot at the lead. Jeff Wright came down pit road, got all 4.
I think Jeff Wright felt like he had no choice after he tried 2 tires, and it seemed like he was really holding on for dear life. Kind of worried about Banks because his tires looked like they didn't really have much left. It's going to be, I think, very hard for him to hold on on 2 tires, but we'll just see what he can do. Track position might end up being the difference. We'll see. Once you get one long green flag run, you feel like you get any sort of yellow, you might not get another run like that. So I think the track position play is the right play. I just don't know if the 35 can hold on with the tires he's got left on the left sides. We'll see what Ortega's got. He had some decent long run pace. And Jeff Wright, obviously we saw what he could do on 4 fresh tires, but it'll be he and McWhorter. McWhorter, who has a black flag for passing under the yellow, but is still going to restart in 4th. So we'll see what happens with that.
Doubling back up here, the field catching back up to the end. They might wave this yellow off. I don't know, maybe another lap. Looks like they're going to group back up. They're going to go back. Back green. A lot of cars back there that didn't get caught back up to the end of this field.
Banks gets clear, Wright gets second, Ortega, oh, Josh Adams, look out, he locks it up, he saves it. He's still gonna have some bad rear tires, we'll see what happens. Oh, spin, Jeff Wright got spun. I think he did that all on his own. That is a rare mistake from the Season 1 champion.
You see Rob Adams get loose here.
Josh Adams.
Or Josh Adams. Apologize.
He made a great save. Then it's a separate all on his own. Wow, lost it. Ooh, Ortega. Oh, there's a bunch of drivers who hit the wall avoiding him.
The fireworks continue here.
Yeah.
Bakersfield.
This is what I was worried about, because you get one long green flag run like this, you're almost certainly going to get cautions breeding cautions. So this is why I like where the 35-2 is. Even Case Lakatos, we haven't mentioned him a lot tonight, but he's up 3rd. And McWhorter still has some sort of penalty to serve. Looks like he's going to get an EOL at this point.
Sure what's going on there with the 73.
Hey, he will get a... I believe he got passing under the yellow. He didn't serve it before this recent caution came out. And now I think it got cleared, but he's going to be given an end-of-line penalty, I guess, to remedy it. So certainly take him out of contention for the win. And it promotes drivers like Lakatos, Christopher Hodges up to the front. We talked about Christopher Hodges. He's been in a number of crashes himself. And he is all the way up to 5th for the time being.
It's about to get really interesting here for these top 5 spots. If Phoenix was any indication, if you tuned into that, things got chaotic there for those final 10 laps. I don't think we've seen the end of it here for Saturday Night Racing. Joshua Banks, Reggie Ortega, the front row. Casey Lakatos, 24 Bailey Turner trying to go 4 in a row. Green flag back underway. 21 laps left.
Ooh, pushing 3 wide. Here comes Lakatos for 2nd. Not quite able to do it. This will give Banks a pretty good gap. Got a spin at the back. I think it's Morgan Lilly. This is exactly what Joshua Banks wants, and it keeps him and Ortega on 2 tires at the front. Another self-spin, and sideways there. Lilly turns it around. Got some cautions.
Been a difficult day here for a lot of these guys, and I know that the patience is running thin, but the main thing to be concerned about is it could always be worse. You could overdrive this thing. You might be sitting in 23rd right now if you're Ryan Carlisle, you probably feel like you're a little bit faster than that. You've had damage. You've been trying to repair your car all night. You got guys like Julio Villalobos that we haven't mentioned here at all today. Kenny Kibbe just ahead of him, who was in the lead at one point. The main thing is, if you go into these corners driving it as hard as you can and end up hitting someone, there are penalties. You know, post-race reviews, you could very easily get a suspension for a week or, you know, lose your charter. There could be a number of factors that go into this, so you kind of weigh those options. The pros and cons of racing hard and battling could destroy your season.
I'm sure there will be a lot of reviewing tonight, that's for sure. But yeah, there's been a lot of drivers who have caused some things and have also just had the ride around and do nothing. Michael Sturgill, who's still just grinding it out, 33rd, 45 laps down. You still have Ray Massey out here logging laps, Belkey. I mean, there's a number of drivers just logging laps, seemingly meaningless. It could mean something at the end of the regular season, who knows? But gotta be a tough feeling. I'm sure they welcome that green flag run just as much as anyone, just to get some laps clicked off, as McFadden will get lapped. Or maybe he didn't.
Maybe.
McQueen beat the pace car out. But anyways, it just, at a race like this, especially when you're doing a lot of pacing and you're just riding around for nothing, like some of those guys are, it can definitely take a toll on you mentally. Just pacing can take a toll on you mentally, really.
Absolutely can. And the patience will wear thin. This is short track racing, Saturday night racing at Bakersfield, California. Back underway at Kern County. Joshua Banks, Reggie Ortega on 2 tires. Here comes Casey Lakatos. He's got the set of 4 to the inside of the 2.
He's been maybe a touch faster at certain points, but he really has been up at the front all day to show it. He's going to dive into turn number 3. He's just going to shove the 2 car out of the way. And Ortega's fine. Into Stravado. J.R. Shepard's in there. Here comes Donnie Kite, Caleb Weekly. Oh, man. That was ugly. That was not pretty, and Stravado once again gets taken out.
I don't think Reggie Ortega is going to send Casey Lakatos a Christmas card.
It's only March. I mean, that decision's already done, but I think Lakatos sees his chance to maybe get second, and he just drives it in and completely uses up Ortega, and then Turner can't check up in time, hits Ortega down into Stravado. Shepard gets a big piece. Kenny Kibbe got put sideways in the aftermath of that too, but that was just not gonna stick. There's no other way to put it. I mean, you can see here how deep he drives it. I mean, Reggie drove it in deep too, and the 50 beat him to the punch somehow. I'm Joshua Banks. I don't want him in my mirror after that, but that's what he's got to deal with. And 50's got 4 tires now, but looks like he likes to use 8.
Yeah, well, looks like 35 of Banks elected to come now.
No, that's an internet issue. Oh, man. Yes, he did. He lost connection with... Gonna restart with 10 to go. He's in the lead, and he just dropped. Holy cow. It's happened before. It's happened to the 48 a number of times. It's happened to him before as well. And that just changes everything, because everyone who was on 2 tires, pretty much out of it. You got Casey Lakatos in the lead now. Look at Josh Adams in 2nd. J.R. Shepard's back up to 4th. Nick Wood is in 6th. Max Koss 7th. I mean, this is really, his order's gotten really jumbled up. Eddie Trejo's in 9th as well.
Heard a lot of talk before this race. Some reconsidering of maybe, finding another venue, maybe going to Phoenix. And up until, a day before, they dedicated to this racetrack, and it has been very turbulent, to say the least. It's played hell on my graphics card as well, as you can tell. The Twix number 50 inside of Josh Adams for this restart. What could be the final one today. 10 laps to go. Green flag is out. Lakatos into turn 1.
Good jump. Kind of soft into turn number 1 that time. Josh Adams is going to get second with a much cleaner race car, at least for now. Race 3 wide. Bailey Turner almost hit the wall, trying to get to the outside. They're bouncing off of one another at the back of the field. There we go. Donnie Kite sideways. Max Koss sideways. There goes Nick Wood. He's going to spin. Caution's out. Ortega goes in. Villalobos. McWhorter's piled up. It's another parking lot. A good deal, though. You usually got to pay for parking.
That was a bad incident there for the 2. I think he might have a day-ending damage there on that one.
I think Nick Wood definitely does. 27 just don't know if he was holding the brakes late or they just didn't do what they needed to do, but came down to track. Ortega had nowhere to go. Bam, right there. And then Klinger, Villalobos, McWhorter actually hit the wall harder than I thought he did, trying to avoid that. Puts Bailey Turner back in the 3rd position. I did see someone in the chat say they'd eat their shoe if Bailey won a 4th in a row. And yeah, McWhorter hit really hard there. The thing about these next-gen cars, we're still not quite getting some of these drivers out of the race. Most of the drivers in that crash are going to be able to continue. But this is the best thing Case Lakatos could see, is just yellow after yellow after yellow.
You have to go back and kind of chalk up all these cautions happening, shuffling this top 10. It's kind of reversed this field. You've got Jeff Wright back there in 10th position, Kenny Kibbe. Those drivers have led laps here today. Bailey Turner has been up front. 35 had a connection issue, and I'm not quite sure if he would still have the lead or not. But with Casey Lakatos here going to the inside of the 24, Turner's back to him now. I don't think we've seen the end of the fireworks here.
I don't know either. I just don't know if Josh Adams can get to the 50 and make that pass in time. It just really depends on how many laps he gets to make it, because here we're restarting with 4 to go, but any other yellow is going to put us into our 3 attempts at green-white checkers. It's not really enough time to formulate a clean pass without using the front bumper. And Josh Adams' car is relatively clean. He hasn't been using that front bumper all night.
He's had a couple self-spins here today. Somehow he's found himself with 4 laps to go on the outside for this restart. In the front spot, Casey Lakatos, command car, green flag back underway. Will they hold it together to the white flag?
See, Lakatos really goes slowly into the entry of the 1. And it's hurting him more than helping him, but he's still able to get away with the lead.
He's going to hold on to it here, but Bailey Turner's going to get by the 6 of Josh Adams. They're 3 wide behind it. Max Koss, Jeff Wright, they all go 3 wide out of 3 and 4. Jeff Wright hard charging here in the final 3 laps into the wall.
Hard hitting. I think Turner's faster. It's just same thing with the 6. I don't know if he can pull this pass off.
Will he move him out of the way? Will it be 4 in a row for Bailey Turner?
He is so much better in the center of a corner. He gained a lot there. But is he willing to move him? Here we go.
Oh, he gave him the inside.
Here we go.
Get ready to eat your shoe. White flag is out.
Big run to the inside. I don't think Lakatos can defend this. He got clear of him, and they're side by side for second. That's all he needs. Is he really going to do this again?
I think he is. Bailey Turner's going to come off of 3 and 4 at Kern County, and he's going to go 4 in a row in the Cup Series. Bailey Turner is your winner.
Oh, read them weep. Gotta be kidding me. He did it again. That is a record, folks. 4 in a row has not been done in this series. And he just did it again. He did it the same thing. He stole it again. I cannot believe that.
Well, we've seen everything here.
I was just about.
Yeah, I have no words. Bailey Turner seems unstoppable here in season number 4 of the Saturday Night Racing League. We're going to have another post-race interview with this guy and the top 3. We're going to round up those final results from Kern County. You're watching Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. Back with more right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Banks, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna win. So Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to VSPEED and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Back here live from Kern County. Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series has concluded its 180-lap event. 4 in a row for the 24 after a last lap pass out of turns 1 and 2, got to the inside, and out of 3 and 4 completed it. Takes the lead, takes the win, and runs away with it. Bailey Turner, congratulations to him, setting an SNR record for 4 victories in a row. With that, then, we have some other drivers. The top 2, Casey Lakatos and Josh Adams, your top 3. We'll get a word with them. 16 cautions. That's not doing it justice. It was more than that here tonight. A few of those got cut with our graphical error here on VSPEED. Apologize for that. But J.R. Shepard claws his way back into the top 5 after getting spun, thrown in the air. Somehow that car works its way back to the top 5.
He was on this side, too. What a recovery.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. Chris Hodges as well. I believe he was involved in some things tonight. He'll get a top 5. Donnie Kite will get 6th position. Jeff Wright back up to 7th. Angelo Huronis, solid day. Chad Klinger claws his way back in to the top 10. And Kenny Kibbe will finish in 10th position.
Yeah, it's better. It's easier to try to pick out who wasn't in an incident. Josh Adams might be one of the few who finished 3rd. Eddie Trejo, 11th. Max Koss, 12th. Shanoski, 13th. Villalobos, we didn't talk about him a lot. He finishes 14th. AJ Stravato was a front runner, but got caught in some incidents late, finishing 15th. Carwell, 16th. His car was totaled. Lilly was in some incidents in the 41. Morgan Lilly, to be exact, 17th position for him. Keith Shoemaker grinds out an 18th place finish. Josh McWhorter, a very disappointing 19th place finish, although at least besides the first few weeks, he does get to the finish and gets some points out of the day. And Mark McFadden might be his best finish of the season for McFadden. Don't know for sure, but he gets a top 20 out of the day.
21st spot for Stefan Davis. 22nd, Joseph Sullivan. Mike Sturgill will finish in 23rd. Brandon Wallace, 24th. Joshua Banks, connection issues here in the last 5 laps. Had the lead just before that second to last caution. He'll finish 25th. Bryce Shoemaker will be 26th. Reggie Ortega, probably not very happy with Casey Lakatos after tonight. Nick Hapiak will get 28th. Nick Wood, a spin there to bring out that, I believe, second to last yellow. 29th position. Caleb Weekly will be your 30th position driver.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's even more mad because the 50 didn't win the race as well. Austin Belke, he's one of those drivers just grinding out laps and trying to get some positions out of the day, finishing 31st. Ray Massey, same thing, 32nd. Michael Sturgill, same thing, 33rd position for the pole sitter tonight. Rob Hamp, 34th. Rokeld was out early, 35th. Rob Denton had a lot of damage, 36th. Philip Brewer could not do it. Back-to-back weeks, the Challenger winner just couldn't get it done. Early exit, 37th. 38th position, Brian Hennings. James Lehman, 39th. Dakota Floyd in the 40th position. He did not start the race. Lehman was the last driver, once again, to start this race and finish it. Floyd did not make the green flag.
Laughter also, I believe, did not make the grid. 183 laps down. With that, we have our top 3 that we're catching up to, and the first driver that we are going to chat with, your third place finisher, Josh Adams, and I've caught up with him on pit road. Josh, you had self spins. You were contained to, probably 2 or 3 different accidents here tonight. You started deep in this field. You clawed your way back several times, now on the podium for Juicy Spider Gaming.
Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster. We had a good start to the run there, and then, like you said, I kind of got involved in one of them first few incidents and decided to go back and repair some damage and started driving through the field, and it felt really good, and it was a really, really fun race to run tonight.
Well, we had kind of limited amounts of green flag runs here, and I know for a lot of guys, it seemed to be the opposite effect. They were up front if the race kept having cautions, but as soon as we would get that long green flag run, you would see kind of the field flip-flop. Do you think that might have helped you get into a position that we had those green flag runs?
Yeah, I think it did. That last one we had, I think I kind of stabled out in like 6th or 7th, and that was probably about where I was going to finish if we wouldn't have had a couple of the last cautions, but I felt really pretty good the longer we ran. I couldn't really keep up with those guys on the short stint, but and I was running just as quick as the leaders. I feel like on that last long run, I was just too far behind and couldn't really catch up. Got mixed up with a bunch of lapped cars in there.
Well, Josh, I know you've got some pretty good sponsors on that race car. Anybody you want to shout out and thank for this podium tonight?
Yeah, just Mike and Nick at Juicy Spider, NJB Designs for making me look nice. They've got a lot of good stuff going on with their different social media platforms right now. My teammate Donnie, who's my co-host on the High Side podcast. You guys check that out on the Juicy Spider Network on YouTube. We're about to film episode 3 tomorrow, so we've been doing pretty good with that. So go check that out.
Again, that's the High Side podcast on YouTube. Josh Adams, appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Old Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we're going to move on to your second place finisher, Casey Lakatos in the number 50. Casey, I got to ask you a question here. Did you intend, I know you probably didn't, but you got locked on the door there with the 2 of Ortega. What's your take on that?
So for anybody that's questioning if I intentionally did that, obviously that's what you just asked. No, of course not. I love racing Reggie tight, not anything like that. It's felt like I got hooked. I was watching the replay back 5-10 times already, and it looks like the left front drops. I'm not trying to make excuses by any means. I don't like seeing that happen, of course. For Reggie was having a really great race. AJ then got involved in it. Banksy then drops. Even to have a top 5, that's not how I wanted it. Even if I would have won, it would have been no different. Like, it sucks. Don't like what happened. I don't feel like I drove it in there any different. I was on the brakes, off the brakes to try and make sure that the front end wasn't just washing out. Was just turning the car as hard as I could. I really was, and I never got back in the gas until the last quarter of the corner. So after the first 2 races or whatever from the season, 3 races, to have a top 5, it's great, but not to get it like that.
Well, we go back to, it wasn't just, the instance there, but it was a multitude of things. We had several drivers here tonight that would go into the corner a little bit off, and it looked like they were approaching it the same way. How unpredictable was this car here tonight?
Honestly, I actually had a lot of fun in the car. Other than getting wrecked after the 14 got a little loose off turn 2, we drove back from basically last to get back into the top 15. So I was really excited and had fun with the car tonight. The car was, I feel like we were driving, it was a good drive. So again, just a frustrating finish on our part, and for the people that got involved in that, of course.
Well, we're shaping up here. I got to ask you one last thing. We're going on that last restart. Bailey Turner gets to the inside. It looked like he maybe unintentionally left that inside door open there into 1. Just 2 tires, or maybe the tires used up. I'm not quite sure. What was your take on that?
It did just feel, as far as I know, I had it set up for 4, and for some reason, again, I drove down in there, and it's just like the car just washed up. So I don't know if it was heat cycle. I was talking about that with the 6, as well as Bailey. I feel like I didn't feel like I drove it in there any harder. In fact, I was trying to back up the corner so I could ensure that I had a good drive off. But the front end just washed out. And yeah, I'm unfortunate. Again, would have loved to get one. I haven't had one yet in the series. So Bailey on the 4-peat, though. Congrats to him.
Casey, before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out that put the 50 car on this second place?
Obviously just the team with going out there and great pit stops all night. To the admins, I know it was kind of hectic in the field. I appreciate you guys doing what you do. I know it's a tough call, especially when you're driving. Otherwise, Fat Boys Incorporated making at least a run towards the front.
Second place here tonight. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you at Old Atlanta.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
A little bit of regret I can tell in his voice. Probably didn't intend to get into the 2 of Ortega. But with that, we do have to go down to victory lane, and it looks like Connor Horn has caught up with the 4-peat of Bailey Turner.
Yeah, like I said it last week, it's becoming a regular thing. Now this is really just making a joke. It's not even a joke anymore. It is becoming a regular thing. Bailey, you make Saturday night history on your own this time. 4 wins in a row. Once again, just barely getting it at the last second to get the victory. You had a pretty fast car, but let's go to the middle of the race, really the longest run of the race. It just seemed like Jeff Wright had the tire strategy down to a T, but you were catching him. If that goes green, do you think you get to the 48?
It would have been pretty tough. I was building pretty tight there, and really just trying to manage McWhorter. I felt like he had a little bit of damage, and I'm sure that was hurting him, and that's probably why he didn't get me as fast as Jeff did. But yeah, I felt like we kind of even out there. I really tried to save my stuff there behind Josh, and it paid off against him, and we were just sitting there riding, and like you said, I felt like we were starting to at least even out with Jeff and kind of keep pace. And I was hoping he had pushed his stuff hard enough that I could make a run with keeping the tires cool. And yeah, just unfortunate timing, catching some lap traffic there on exit. I don't really blame Bryce. I wish, he could have tracked out a little bit further. That's what I think we were both, at least I was expecting. And yeah, just a little bit frustrating kind of racing lap traffic there at the end when, the leaders are coming through. And I was hoping to get a race and get raced a little bit better. But, I don't think I wouldn't say this win counts quite as good as the other ones. Obviously, I'll take a 4th one in a row, but I think Banks had the strategy and he was right up there. I felt like him and I were 1A, 1B that whole race. So really unfortunate for him, but yeah, pretty cool to set a record here in SNR. This time it is a record, right? We got that stat correct.
Yes.
So that was really cool. We'll take him how we can get him, stacking these points and hopefully putting together a little bit of a gap for the playoffs. That's usually where I like to choke away my points gaps is late in playoff runs. So hopefully if we just build a big enough lead, then I'll have a little bit of leeway.
Well, at least unofficially, it's a 45-point gap, but it is definitely opening up very, very quickly. Obviously, Lightning start your season, but obviously you had a few restarts to get through there. Got involved in another incident there off of 4 with the 2 and the 33, a number of others, but you were still able to restart in the front 2 rows. What was your thought process on that final restart with 4 to go and how you're going to try to attack Casey?
Yeah, first off, apologies to Reggie. I tried lifting for him and kind of getting out of it, but they had stacked up so hard off of 4, I didn't really have an opportunity to turn down or stop. But yeah, I had damage. I had about a minute and a half of damage there, so I really didn't know how the car was going to react. I had actually mic'd up a restart or 2 before that just to give the guys around me a heads up that I didn't know what my car was going to do. But yeah, just followed Casey in there. I was on 4 tires. I'm not sure what his strategy was, but went in there on 4 and car was rotating really well, and I just got that good exit off of, I believe it was turn 4, and got underneath Casey. And I kind of checked up in the center of 1 and 2 because I thought he was trying to just give it to me and then was going to run me up the track in turn 3. But luckily, the 6 car got underneath him and he wasn't able to kind of formulate that run. So the rest of it there was just not screwing up. But yeah, real excited about that one. And it was kind of nice to be in the position of kind of chasing somebody instead of being chased on the last couple of restarts there. So hopefully we'll go for 5 in a row next week and set another record.
And that would be something. 4 in a row hasn't been done. You could extend your mark at Atlanta. That'll be a tough task indeed. We should see some green flag running there. Anyone else you want to thank or shout out? And do you recommend getting engaged to win races?
Well, I was winning races before the engagement, but I'll shout the fiance. Got to get that right. Shout her out. So yeah, appreciate you guys up in the booth. Appreciate everybody that kind of puts this thing together. I know admin's had a tough night tonight, and we still appreciate all the hard work they do. I mean, obviously coming to a short track and a league that doesn't run too many short tracks, it can be challenging. And I honestly thought this race would be a heck of a lot cleaner, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out to the teammates over at Sad Boys, and we accidentally hopped in the Hutton Motorsports channel, so shout out to Josh and Eddie and for their hospitality. But yeah, so just thanks to you guys and all the sponsors and everybody that puts us on.
And now, I don't know if this is official because we did have a outage from Bradley earlier, but if that is correct, Bailey Turner, you have more wins this season than you had laps led tonight, but you got the win tonight regardless in the inaugural race at Kern County. Congratulations once again. You've been winning for literally a month now. Congrats. We'll maybe at this rate, we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. See you Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you Monday, yes.
There's the 4-peat here, Connor, and we didn't think it would be possible. We were talking about records and what could possibly happen. He was lurking all night long. But overall, it just it was another one of those perfect scenarios, and it took the 35 of Banks losing connection as well. Just so many things in the recipe here for this 4-peat.
And this is not an easy league to do it. It's not like you got like 20 cars running with maybe one other competitive driver to deal with. Yes, he had his breaks, but he's done it at so many different tracks. The Super Speedway at Daytona, the 1.5 miles at Texas on 2-tire strategy, the 2-mile track on Auto Club on strategy, and then this time definitely got a little bit fortunate. But at the end of the day, he got fortunate to be in that position, but he made the move to the inside of the Cottas to get the job done, leading only the last 2 laps of the race. This is a little bit comical at this point, and if he can make a 5 in a row, then I might have to eat my hat too, just like the guy in the chat has to as well. By the way, that was Adam Cabot who put that in the chat, so he's eating his hat. Maybe he'll race next week and try to make Bailey eat his hat. I don't know, but next week should be
that
fun.
Streak, huh?
We'll see.
That's what it's going to take. Maybe we get Cabot back out here on the racetrack. Next week, it's Old Atlanta, the Legacy Racetrack, 2008 style. Back when this track had, well, I'll just go out and say it, driver talent was involved. It was a heavy driver's track, and the steep banks, the old asphalt, the quad oval, some of the most iconic finishes in NASCAR. First one that comes to mind is Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon in 2001. That, of course, will be Saturday Night Racing League next week at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, March 8th. It'll be week number 5. It'll be the last time that yours truly is in a race car for the Challenger Series. Logan Threlkeld will come back to be in the car the week after that, and we're kind of doing some team driving. Old Atlanta as well for the Cup Series, so we're back on a similar schedule, Kern County and Phoenix, where the separation there will be a few races like that throughout the season. But with that, Connor, appreciate your time coming in here to the broadcast booth. You've been phenomenal all season. We've watched a lot of action. We've still got a lot to go here for Saturday Night Racing. For everybody at VSPEED that helped put this on, Adam Baker in the background, Eddie Smith, Logan Threlkeld, Morgan Cook, our other producers, we say so long from Kern County. We'll see you in 1 week's time. Until then, stay tracking.